Got the volume?
Good.
Wonderful. Got the volume? Guess what else we got? Guess what else we got? Oh, God. Honestly.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk
Well, hello. And how's everybody this morning? Delighted to have you with us. Delighted to be here. And we're going to try to get online. We're going to try to get our microphones working. We have Naresh here. And I'm looking for Joey. Goodness sakes. Naresh, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, Faris.
Good to see you. I was trying to get Joey up here. Did we get that cut off? That slow mode turned off?
I turn off.
You don't know? I think we did. I think it's okay. Let me get
I
back to
did,
Howard. Yes. Did
I did some changes in my tank.
You're welcome. Well, thank you. Good to have you with us. What did you want to show us, Naresh?
My black powder
I think
tank.
he wants to
Your what?
My black powder tank.
Okay.
black water tank.
Black water tank. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
show
let's
it.
take a look. All right.
Thank you, Fish and Tank Fix, for
Yes.
your $1.99 super chat. Thank you. We've got a little bit of lag.
I don't know what's going on. We lost it.
Yeah.
We'll get back to him.
All right, I'm going to jump into some hellos while we're trying to work
Yeah,
that
do.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good morning and hello. So here we go. Glassbox Fox, Kruna Karen Naresh is here. Brad's Hobbies, Dennis Lord, Mike's Aquarium, Paul C. And then I see Simply Aquatics is here with us this morning. Welcome, David Fellows. And then we had lots of chat like we usually do early in the morning. Lee is with us this morning. Patrick Murphy, Mermaids Chorus, welcome. Tisha's here. And then I don't know if it's James Handy. Anyway, welcome, James. Stephanie, my sister Steph is here. And then scrolling. Fish and Tank Tips, of course, and right out of the gate with that super chat. Thank you so much. Chevy Fish is here with us this morning, and she's always in the chat, greeting and helping out. Patrick Murphy, and then I see Jeff Tanks, Mr. Manifesto, Greg the Guppy Guy, T. Montano, Howard Van Tassel, good morning, or hello, Duco, hello, Campos Mentis, Whips World, Joan Virgil, Frugal Aquatics, hello, TJ, and then Wendy 70-ish, and Tam Shepherd. Good morning, everyone. Good morning in the shoal. Hope I didn't miss anyone. And hello, Johans. World Small Aquarium. Hello.
Thank you, Fishing Tactics.
Yes.
As ever.
Thank you so much. So I guess as always, you can drop some questions in the chat. We're not sure what's going on with Naresh, so we'll just
I think he's back. Let's see if we got him.
Let's do that, and then we'll.
There we go. Look at that. There it is. There's the magic water tank. I saw them putting this together yesterday, and it looked pretty cool. It's a little cloudy, but it's looking okay.
Yeah.
This is Essence Lake water.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What
Bye.
is that? Bye-bye.
That is black.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just set that up yesterday, FATHERFISH?
Yeah, I did. Right.
Okay. All right. You want to make us a little smaller so we can get into the screen?
Well,
Because somehow, okay, that's better. Otherwise, we're just overlapping. That doesn't work either. So, okay. All right. So he just set that up yesterday, so that's cool. And like you said, it'll settle out and do its thing.
right.
You know, do we have a lag, or are we still good?
No, I think we're okay.
Yeah, I think we're okay. All right, and welcome to She to Heaven, Dawn. Fish Dreams just came in. Good morning.
We got 57 watching and 26 thumbs up.
Oh, it's time to smash the like button, people.
We got about 31 of you who need to get on the
Smash the
beam.
like button, people.
We got the smash button hammer.
I've got my hammer. I'm not getting rid of my hammer. Keeping it. Smash the like button. Anyway, so yes. Now, if you do have any questions, that would be a good time. Vanjatan, welcome.
Yeah, I've got one. Do you have a recommendation for an easy carpeting plant?
Yes.
Well, I guess the easiest is the dwarf sword, the pygmy sword.
Yes.
That probably grows better. It's got a deeper root. A lot of the carpeting plants have very shallow roots, and in a deep sand bed, they have a hard time getting nutrition, which means you need to use liquid fertilizer, or you need to grow them immersed, which is also a problem. But the simplest one to do in a brand new tank is the dwarf. I guess it's called a dwarf sword. It gets about an inch to 2 inches tall.
That's it, but it's not a big sword, yeah.
It looks nice, and you can trim it to make a lawn out of it.
Wow.
It's a larger leaf. It's a broader leaf. It's not like hair grass or some of the other really tiny, short growing things. But it looks very nice. And the fish get down in it. I mean, it works.
You know what I like about that, FATHERFISH, is because of the way it grows, you know, that chain sword, you can literally get in there with your tweezers and manipulate that into different spots very easily. And you can do that easily with the other carpeting plants. I mean, you can make that grow in the direction you want. So that's what I like about
Yeah,
the chain.
dwarf grade sword, Roman's calling it. Right.
Yeah. Oh, and Chevy's calling it a tort sword. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I agree with you. The one I have, I always had known it as a dwarf chain sword.
Yeah,
So,
Tisha, go ahead and tap here. Yeah, I would tap it. Put the sand in.
yeah,
Otherwise, you're going to have a mess.
yeah. Um, Good morning,
Howard,
Rob.
Howard
Good morning.
says Bacopa grows like weeds in his tank.
Yeah.
It doesn't for everyone. Bacopa's a funny plant. Sometimes it does real well, and sometimes it won't grow at all. When it does, it's a really pretty plant, and it's another one you can trim back. You can keep it at a given
Right.
level, but it
Um,
doesn't like to grow immersed. And when you let it grow immersed, that is out of the water, it will it'll flower.
mhm. Good
So
morning. We're
we have a guest in the lounge in the green room.
welcome, Andre Ellis. Welcome.
Shall we bring our guests up?
Well,
Here we
as I say, I don't have the button, so that's up to you. Hello, Lee.
go. Hi there.
Hello. I'd like to talk about something that's not.
Oh my.
Hello.
I being talked.
Now, every good fish, if you love your fish,
Yes.
bit. Story of how I came about this, how much my fish love me.
You got the floor, Lee.
You find yourselves in one of those situations, like a zombie apocalypse. Are running down the street, but none of them are safe. And you don't know what to do. You don't know whether to go left, right, or what. And then suddenly you go, oh, Sue, I know this abandoned warehouse. It's a manufacturing plant. And there's 3 floors. If we go up to the zombies in and you lock yourself in there, I'll entice all the zombies in. And there's a fire escape and we can get out the back and we'll be safe. All the zombies will be locked up. So that was the plan. So she went straight in. I'm shouting out, oi, zombies, your breath stinks, you got bad teeth, and your clothes need changing. She goes running off to the 3rd floor, and I'm running down the corridor, and I can see her waving through the window. And as I get to the door, she's bawling her eyes out. I'm going, what's the matter? What's the matter? She goes, I locked the door, Lee, and I've broken the key. I can't open it. So there I was, trapped. And she's crying, and she's crying, and she's crying. And then we did one of those really loving moments where, you put your hand on the glass, and she put her hand on the glass, and we matched palm prints. And then I went up to the glass, and I went, and she did it back. And then I noticed the broom cupboard, so I went and hid in the broom cupboard. Right, that's enough about that. There is an ending to this story, but it's going on a bit long. I just want to show you the same kind of moment that you can have with your fish. You can go up to the glass and you can have a really loving moment with your fish. Check it out. Mm.
Sorry, Lee.
Can you see them? See, they love me. They love me, don't they? They love me.
Oh dear God.
So that's that then. That's proof, isn't it?
Yeah, it's proof.
If you ever needed proof, that's proof. My fish love me and I love them. Can I go now?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Delightful as ever.
Yeah, see you soon. Love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it. So there.
Bye.
Bye, Lee. Good morning, Whip's World and Sarge's Aquarium. Good morning. Hello, Duco.
Apparently, there's some people
Well,
having
Vincent.
buffering problems. I
Yeah,
don't think.
I think bringing people up is messing up
You
the
think that could be?
link. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get. I need to kill the link. Is what I need
Yeah,
to
I was
do.
gonna say, because that every time I think we do that, it just keeps messing things up. So, oh yeah, there was a lot in the chat. They're like, I'm buffering, I'm frozen, I'm. So okay.
All
Ooh,
right.
good morning, Donald. Drew, I had to look at the name. Good morning, Donald. Drew. Good morning. Trying to stay on task here. Hello, George Crabtree. Good morning. Can nutrients in the soil run out suddenly? My hair grass carpet was great for 12 months and then it just died back over a month or two. The tank's a year old.
Well, yeah, yeah, they can. Depends how you've got it set up, of course. Part of the reason I do additives is to try to prevent that from happening. It could be something else, though. It's not necessarily a lack of nutrients. It could be a change in the pH or some other change in the water parameters. Typically, that does not happen quickly over a month or two. It'll take longer to happen. You can test it by putting some um, fertilizer like Osmocote in the soil and see how it reacts. But it's typically not the problem.
Okay,
The
they're
dirt,
saying that.
yeah, you should be good for years. In fact, after a year, uh, it should just be coming into its own with
Well,
soil.
that's what he's saying, FATHERFISH, is that the tank's been set up for 12 months, and over the past month or two, it has started to die off. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a lack of nutrients in the soil. I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
Try putting some Osmocote down in there and see if that makes a difference. Check
Okay.
your water parameters. That it likely has more to do with water parameters than it does with the soil.
Okay. And good morning, Carrie. Thanks for coming in. Um, so Patrick Murphy says, is there any alternatives for calcium carbonate to amend the soil?
No, to do what?
Amend the soil.
Well, you don't have to use it. The main purpose of the calcium carbonate is to hold your KH up um, so that you can maintain a stable pH. It also helps to keep the substrate from becoming acidic, but um, sodium bicarbonate does a better job of that.
Good morning, Big Tank Kink. Welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Duco is saying the nutrient-rich substrate. I've not found that they run out in a year. Well, part of the reason mine don't is because I do the additives.
Right.
And the additives kick in about a year.
So if you had done just the straight dirt substrate, there's a chance it could be running
Well, yeah,
low.
that was, excuse me, that was one of the issues um, that was raised in what's her name? God, my brain is gone. Old brains are terrible. I hate them.
Mr. Reptiles, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
that.
very much.
Thank you. Very generous.
One of the issues that was raised in the early deep substrate work was the fact that the nutrients were used up in a year to 2 years. That's the reason I started doing supplements in order to hold that up. What I discovered was that iron oxide, for example, doesn't kick in. It doesn't chelate until a year to 2 years. So that by putting it in, you're prolonging the nutritional life of the substrate substantially.
Mhm.
So the supplements are really, really important. And if you have not done that, then you need to find a way to enrich the substrate, and you can do that with frozen additives. Freeze them in ice cubes and some water, and push them down all the way to the bottom of the substrate, and that will help to replenish.
All right, Father Fish, he just added, he said the soil he used was 3 inches of Tropica aquarium soil.
Oh golly,
And I guess after a year, he feels, his plants aren't doing
yeah,
as well.
I'm
So
sure that's right. Yeah,
you got to bump it. Yeah, you got to, as Father Fish, to freeze some stuff in some ice cubes or whatever you can
not
do to
the
get it under.
yeah, not the same as dirt.
No, that's it. Yeah, it's not like an organic potting soil.
Andre is asking me to define the supplements. Well, I do a number of supplements, many of which are nutritional supplements, but you can use uh, dry fertilizer like Osmocote and put it down in the dirt. You don't want something super strong that's going to burn things off. So try to be reasonable about it. You're not going to get powder in there unless you put it in ice cubes, get it frozen, or
Right,
mix it in with
right.
something that's firm enough that you can put it through the water. The other
Get it
way to
under.
do this, of course, is to remove most of the water, leave an inch of water in, and then you've got a smaller area of water to work through. You can do that more carefully and without the problems. But when you finish, you want to cap with another half inch or so of sand in order to be able to keep that
Right.
dirt and nutrients under the sand and in the substrate.
Good morning, Joshua Miller. Good morning.
Andre Ellis. I'll turn you blue, Andre.
Yeah, they're asking about yes, you're talking about powder additives versus root tabs. For your mix in the dirt, you're talking about your powder supplements that you add.
Hmm.
I know. Frugal's asking if you can put Osmocote inside gel caps. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
And use your tweezers and get them right under.
not a bad idea. The
No,
problem with
it's a good
Osmocote,
idea.
yeah, Osmocote is a problem. Misfit, thank you so much for your super sticker. That's very generous and very kind of you, and will help the African children enormously.
Thank you, Misfit. David Fellows, your girlfriend Maggie's watching. Hello.
My
Hello.
girlfriend Maggie Belfry is lurking, David says. Well, we
Hello,
ought to
Maggie.
have a girlfriend, David. Roe. Yeah, David. Lurking, is she lurking?
Good morning, Catfish
Come on,
Terry.
Phil.
Good morning.
Hi, Catfish Terry. Gubby galore. I missed the last comment. I got distracted.
I think we were just talking about the gel caps. TJ mentioned using the gel caps for Osmocote. I mean, at that point, I think anything you wanted to put in your as a supplement, maybe you could put in a gel cap. I mentioned to you one day about taking some of these supplements and just mixing them in plain gelatin, just to get them solid enough to get them under. I didn't know if that might be something to try if you're trying to get
absolutely. Yeah.
a larger amount. Because the ice cube thing works, but you got to have a pretty good size ice cube, and you got to be quick.
Yeah, when that ice cube, the solution with the ice cube is to make little ones and then freeze them in big ones that are just water. So you've got a little cube of dirt frozen inside a bigger cube of water, and that
Right.
you can get down in there pretty quick without losing much of it.
Oh,
But it's a
this,
problem because you're messing with the substrate when you do that. What are you giggling about?
I'm giggling because Maggie, David's girlfriend, just came in on her own channel and says, "Shh, I hate you, David, fellas." Hi, everyone. Welcome, Maggie.
I
Welcome.
assume that's a love hate.
And and James is saying that he's done that. He's basically made his own root taps, with gel caps, and he used Thrive from, I don't know, is that NILOG?
Yeah, I don't know how the gel caps dissolve under in the substrate.
I think it's not going to be instant, I think, but over time, I think it will dissolve. I mean, it's not going to, you're not going to put them in today and they're going to dissolve. It might take a
You
week or
think
so.
they will disintegrate?
Yeah, I think they'll just sort of leach out. I mean, put one in a glass of water and watch. And
Well,
that'll give you an idea.
they turn gelatinous. They get soft and gelatinous.
Right.
I've never looked at one over a period of time to see what it did. Yeah, okay.
I think it would be, it's not going to be instant, but I think over time it would give you the result you want. Andre added to this. He said in an old book from the 90s, they used dirt, chelated irons, and other powders for capping and adding water. Didn't know if that was what you meant. But you, Fatherfish, don't add to the water. You add to the dirt and then cap it.
Before capping. Oh, no, they're not saying that. He's talking, what book from the 90s? That's interesting. He's talking about substance. Capping with sand, I assume.
Yeah, and adding water.
Yeah, that is. What is the book, Andre?
Yeah, because that is basically what you do. And you said you can add whatever you want. You could add, you can add all that you add, or you can just add a couple things, right? I mean.
Yeah, David made an interesting comment on one of the old videos. He was saying that what he finds, what he appreciates about this system is that it's a pinch of this and a pinch of that. It's like being a cook or being a baker. There are no rigid rules for what you put in or how much you put in. It's a matter of being reasonable and relatively conservative, but there's plenty of room for experimentation. And the benefit, of course, is that if you mess up, all you have to do is add niche sand.
And that solves it, yeah. James is adding in, he used a veggie-based gel cap. Awesome. And so that's a really good idea. So that's great, James. Thank you. And
they dissolve fairly quickly, yeah.
And hello, DJ. Good morning. And good morning, Deborah Shear and Mick Gardner. Good morning. Oh, and Paul, I like how he's gonna get me to ask you this. Joey, when is Father Fish redoing his tanks, and will there be videos? Pressure on, Father Fish. When will you be doing this?
Well, I have plans coming tomorrow. I ordered them yesterday. They're being shipped out today. I will get them tomorrow. And I got a relatively large order of plants, so I can do most of them. What I'm going to be doing today is substantial water changes in all of the tanks. So that's today's job. I have one or two shipments, one shipment to get out of dirt. Mm-hmm. So I want to do that. But I'm going to do the water changes so that tomorrow I can plant, and I'll do a video of the planting. That'll be fun. See how that works out. Great
And then
passed on.
yeah, he passed the book on. Andre said he passed the book on and doesn't remember the name. That's too bad. Because that's right up Father Fish's alley. That's obviously what he does. So
Right,
you would
right.
like that book, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you bet.
Well, angelfish kill cardinal tetras. Eventually they can get big enough to kill them. But it
well,
might take time.
angelfish cardinal tetras. Well, they will eat them.
Well, that's what eat them eventually, but not.
Yeah, they have to get big enough.
Yeah.
I've got some large angels about 3 to 4 inches here, and if I had neons in there, they would definitely eat them.
And angelfish are fast. They don't look like they can move that fast. Those things can move when they're after something.
Yeah, they also have very sharp spines. You wouldn't think that's what they do. They are a big angel will poke a hole in a bag in an instant. And you wouldn't think their fins were sharp anywhere, but they are.
I don't pick them up by hand anymore. Do you know how many times that dorsal has gotten me? I don't do it with my hands anymore.
Yeah. So they will deliberately pin you too.
Yeah.
Their first ray on the dorsal is a sharp spine, and they use that for defensive purposes.
Mm-hmm. And it gets stuck in nets really easily, so be careful of that too. Hello, Rohan. Good morning, Teresa. How are you? Yeah. All right. Angelfish, please do not say hi. Look, I'm just reading comments. Good morning, millions and sons. Good morning, Fatherfish, fellow aquarium enthusiasts.
Thank you, millions and sons. Yes, indeed.
Thank you. So, if anybody does have a question, now's a really good time. We are at the bottom of the chat. We're pretty much guaranteed we'll see the question.
J-Dog. Hello, J-Dog. Who's here? Duco is here. How did he get in? Here we go. Hey, Duco. Oh, this is Roman.
Oh, it's Roman. No, Roman's on. No, you get the chat.
I got.
You just
I got.
Yeah.
Duco, are you there? He's not there. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Just barely.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Duco.
Yes,
how are you? Yes.
Great.
Can you hear me? There he is.
Wait.
The top of his head.
How do I turn my mic?
We see your.
Yes.
We see your new.
Turn my mic around.
Okay.
Yes. It's nothing under there. It's only.
Do you have a face?
How do I? Yes.
We can't see. There we go.
Hello. Face.
How are you?
Look at that. Duco, nice to meet you.
How can I turn around my camera?
There's a cam mic button on the bottom of the screen, and if you hit that, it'll give you an option of front to back for the camera, and you can flip it by using that button.
There are 2 buttons down there. The second one.
Use the cam mic button. It has a little gear symbol on the top of it. Use that, and then it will give you an option for the camera for front or back, and you can.
Yes, I'm trying now.
Flip it. Okay.
Yeah, I think if I take it off here, Chevy, it doesn't take it off anyone else's.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. Oh, how pretty.
Nice.
Can you see it?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, very nice.
Oh, very pretty.
This is my.
Look at that.
This is my 8-gallon.
I love it.
Shrimp in there.
Complete with moss ball.
Hey, I like moss balls.
Yes, load.
Yeah, no, you do.
Yeah, it's not growing very good. I'm not in it all the time. And something interesting here is, as you can see, I have some ramshorn snails.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So
Got some good
here's almost no algae on this side, and on this side there's very much algae. So.
Yep.
And I have another tank. Is it better like this?
That's great like that. Perfect, Duco. Thank you. That's a very pretty tank.
Yeah, it's not dirted, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll do it soon.
But, hey,
It's
very
because
pretty.
it's a bit high up, so otherwise you can't see many of it.
Mm-hmm. What do you keep in there?
1
Species
gourami.
Okay. Yep.
This is a gourami.
Yep.
And 2 bristlenose plecos, a pair.
Yeah, I see them.
And
cricket.
Sturbay.
Yep.
Sturbay
Nice.
and some blue dream shrimp. That's about it. Oh, and mystery snails.
Okay. Very
Yeah,
nice.
And I even got
nice collection of
some
plants.
eggs. Can you see the eggs?
Yep.
Snail eggs.
You've got
That's
some
from a mystery snail.
snail eggs. Yeah, I
Yes.
saw Mr. Snail down on the right. There's one down in there.
Should I name the plants or if you want?
Sure,
Nice
like,
variety.
So Ludwigia, Bacopa, Amazon swords, Limnophilia, got loads of that. Waiting. I got crypts, many crypts, and Java ferns, and what's the other name from the other epiphyte plant? I forgot it.
Anubias or
Yeah, Anubias. Sorry, Anubias.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Very
that's
nice
about
selection.
it.
Your species selection is wonderful, and your plants are looking very wonderful. So you're doing a nice job.
Yes.
And doing hardscape. I mean, it's a nice
Yes.
tank. Really good looking tank.
Hmm?
I said it's a really good looking tank.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's just all locally collected. Everything.
Really? Very
Nothing
cool.
is bought from the store. Yeah, the gravel, of course, but might keep it soon. So. But it is very interesting because this tank is way more stable than the other tank, the dirty tank. It's more stable and the shrimp are doing way better in it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can
So
always.
if I set up the next tank, I will also do it. Yeah,
You can always catch
but
something in.
yeah, I will soon. But I'm waiting on another tank, which I am going to use the plans of that tank for. So then I will cap it.
Very nice.
So trying.
Well, you're doing some
I
excellent
will
work
get
there.
off now and yes.
Very pretty.
Nice to meet you, Duco.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing.
Yes, I will get off now and watch the stream. Bye.
Okay. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Thank you, Duca.
No, his tanks are looking very nice. Good
Yes.
job. I like it. All right.
Somebody would
Get in here. Welcome, What Thus. Welcome. Someone, what, Fatherfish? I'm sorry.
Milligan and Sons was talking about a lanai fish room.
Oh, yeah.
His wife threw the fish tanks outside. Yeah, I'm in total agreement. At some point, my roommate is going to become irate, and that point will come when I get water on the floor and it goes through the wall into the living room and messes up his wood floor. That's the point where I will either have to find a new place to live or move my tanks outdoors. It is inevitable.
Well, I was going to say, just be careful when you're draining those tanks and hope you don't have one that leaks.
Yeah, exactly. But, the reality is that ultimately it happens.
It does.
We all have stories.
The law of averages is at some point you are going to have a tank that leaks. It's just going to happen. Yeah.
Inevitable. So, the lanai is ideal. You can do heaters in the tanks during cold weather to keep the temperature up, or you can close it in I've done both. I've closed in my lanai in order to be able to have a fish room. Basically, a lanai, for those of you who don't know, is a Florida contrivance based on building a sun porch on a concrete pad.
Mm-hmm.
The pad is usually elevated, but it's an ideal environment for a fish room because it's a concrete floor and because it's typically tilted to drain out rather than in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are made with screen. I'm on one right here that's made with glass windows, jalousie windows, and it's just perfect.
All
It's a
right.
solid room of jalousie windows.
Mm-hmm. Um, good morning, Bows and Barrels, and good morning, Lori, Monster Fish Gal. Father Fish, what does is new in the chat this morning, and so there's two things. They're saying hello there, just jumping in on the stream. I found Father Fish just the other day on YouTube, so welcome. And they also have a question. You have anything to clean algae in an 8-gallon tank?
Anything to clean algae.
So I guess there's two ways of doing it. Obviously cleaning it off, but you can get critters like nearite snails that will
Yeah, right.
eat algae. So I'm not sure which way they want to go with it, but that's an easy thing. Throw in a nearite snail. And then, as far as there's ways to clean it off the glass, and some of the plants with the leaves that you can rub it off a leaf. I don't know. I don't know what they're looking for. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't either.
So
Deborah
those are some
Shear.
suggestions. Snails are great, nearite snails, and they don't
Nearite
reproduce.
snails are ideal. They really are. They do a
Overrun
good
with.
job. The other thing is to learn to love your algae. Algae is your bestie. Just after all.
Yeah.
Deborah Shear.
I don't worry about it. I just clean the front of the glass and I let the rest of it do its thing. Because, like you said, it's good. It's good for the tank.
Does the yellow color from a dirted tank ever go away? Well, the reality is you should never have it to begin with. If you do, it's because your sand cap is not deep enough. Or when you set the tank up, you had enough dirt above the sand due to any number of possible reasons to get it in there. So what I would suggest is you add sand and start put a sponge filter in there or start doing water changes. It should be crystal clear. There should not be yellow water from a dirted tank. It should not even be there.
Yeah. If you suspect it leaching up, add a little more sand, right? If you think it's coming up.
Yeah, exactly. If that's happening, then you need to add more. You need to ring the sand bell.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh, right there. Oh, bows and barrels. What is better, green or brown algae?
Brown algae is diatomaceous. It's diatoms. It's actually not an algae. It's not a photosynthetic plant. It's a bacteria. So it's really totally different.
We still call it that.
We call it that, yeah, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's caused by excess nutrition in the tank, which means you are overfeeding. So stop feeding your fish if you want to get rid of the brown algae, and all will be well.
That's right. And what's the ding 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 splashing around? That's the sand bell. Cap it with sand. And good morning, splashing around indoors. Good morning.
James Handy is suggesting more light. More light will help, but what you have to realize is that that is a bacteria, and it's caused by the bacteria finding nutrition that is not otherwise being dealt with by the biology in the system. So, which means there's excess nutrition, which means you're overfeeding. There, that is an inexorable conclusion. That is true in every case, all the time, with no exception. Stop. I need to do a video. I think it's going to be called "Stop Feeding Your Fish." I thought I had done some things along the way like that, but nothing really has happened. And Lee, I need your help to do this because you've got the ultimate uh, proof of the ability of a tank to sustain a large number of fish over an extended period of time. Lee let his tank go without food for 6 months, and he has at least 50 platies, mollies, and guppies
He
in a
does.
50-gallon tank with lots of plants. And he did a poop patrol. He was watching and noticing months after he stopped feeding that these fish were continuing to eat. The tank was providing all kinds of nutrients that were occurring naturally. I think I'll do that as the next video. That's the biodiversity. And
Okay.
biodiversity is a critical part of that whole process and something we really don't pay attention to because we don't see it. But there's so much microscopic life that occurs naturally in the tank as beneficial nutrition for our fish that if we are to stop feeding, they will begin feeding on that, and that will promote more growth of that type. So it really,
Um,
does. What's it?
Chevy
Chevy
Fish,
Fish saying, yeah,
Chevy Fish comes in with brown algae is a diatom. Cyano is a bacteria.
the brown algae is the diatom. Okay,
And good morning, downtown Bucky Brown.
cyano is a bacteria. Cyano.
Yeah, cyano. And I'll admit I get diatoms in my fry tanks because I clearly overfeed. I'm growing fish, so I'll get them in there, but I don't worry about it. Because I'm doing water changes and whatever. But is there an excess of food in those tanks? Absolutely, because I'm growing fish. But I don't worry about it. It's not a show tank. It's just it's a tank that I'm breeding fish in. Joey has the hammer. Yes, I do. Smash the like button, people.
80 watching, 57 likes.
And to smash that like button.
23 short on the likes here. 58, 59, 60. Well,
Bring out the hammer. It's hammer time. All right. So what do we got here? What do we have? No. They said I could call him downtown Bookie Brown yesterday, Steph, but that was okay. I thought I saw a little question up here.
making red plants more red.
Fatherfish, can I just interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Fish and wings, hello. And I apologize. Yesterday, I missed that your wife was in for surgery, and we are praying for you, and we do wish you well, both of you, and I hope that she has a speedy recovery.
Yes, amen. And how is she doing?
Sorry we missed that yesterday. I apologize. Fish and tank dicks, yes. Hammer and shiny shell fun. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you.
Tisha got her plants.
Oh,
Lovely.
nice. Well, she's going to be on her way with that, setting up that tank. Awesome.
Okay, Von Jatan. Do you have any tips on making red plants more red? 2 things you can do. One is add light. Red plants are highlight plants. The other is a little known product. The label on which is worn off. So I can't tell you what it is. But I got this from Dried Shrimp Direct. And it is a red supplement powder.
Oh, so it's got, I can't think of
It's a color enhancement
well,
powder.
it starts with an A. I can't think of what's in it. I think it starts with an A, and that's exactly what it is. It's for boosting color.
Yeah. In fish or plants. It adds essentially keratin.
Chevy will know what. Yeah.
Chevy will know. That's right.
Thank goodness. Chevy will know. And Bookie Brown. Sorry, I got to find it again. Okay, what can I do for my fish? Every once in a while, I see them flicking their top fins a lot. Well, I might have an opinion. You can jump in, FATHERFISH, with whatever you have.
What can I do for my fish every once in a while? I'll see them flicking their top fins. Yeah, that.
Well, in my opinion, sometimes that's breeding behavior. Sometimes you'll get fish that go around flicking that top fin and doing some things. It can be that. But if you have a lot of, I think, fin, and if they're splashing, if they're going down and rubbing on the dirt or up against a plant and flicking their fins, that to me is external parasites.
Yeah, and generally it is parasites. It can be bacterial infection. It's more often than not an attempt for their attempt to get rid of a parasite.
Right. Yep, they're trying to flick it off. So just, if you see, oh, she got it. I was right. It starts with an A. I can't even. I don't want you pronounce it. I don't want to mess it up. Chevy fish.
Axanthin.
That's what I thought is how you pronounce it. I was like, I'll mess it up if I say it. Okay. See, I knew it started with an A, but it couldn't. Anyway. Okay. Cool. That's it. That's the red stuff. Fish and wings. That's not the same.
She retracted the comment. Did you notice that?
What?
She retracted it.
She retracted it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Females do it not
territorial. Maybe. That's what I'm saying. Watch them, observe them, make sure it's not just like that, just them going around doing things. But if you see other signs that go with it, that's looking, the flashing against the gravel or plants or objects, they're trying to scrape the parasites off. So if you see a lot of that going on, I would go with external parasites and treat for that. Oh, she's got it. Sex. I don't know. She just spelled it wrong. I'm not even trying to pronounce it. You pronounce it. You do it. Asaxanthium.
Yeah, that stuff. That's the red stuff. That's in it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that is you find that ingredient in any color enhancing food. It has that ingredient.
Saxanthan.
I know what it is, but I don't know how to pronounce it.
Gilligan says it's IN rather than AN. And he says it's AST. So we have a difference of opinion here. Astaxanthan.
I don't know, but that's what it is, and that's the red ingredient, and that's the color enhancing ingredient. That much I know. All right. So what can I do to get rid of it if they flat? I mean, if you really think, Bookie Brown, that you have a problem, you can treat with general cure and follow the instructions on the box. And if it is external parasites, you'll probably be in really good shape after that treatment. Is cyano caused by overfeeding? George Crabtree asks.
Is cyano caused by overfeeding? Cyano is caused by excess Yes. Excess nitrogen, nitrates.
Right, which is from, yeah.
Excess nitrates are caused uh, by excess ammonia, which is caused by excess waste. Ammonia is waste. An excessive amount will result in an excessive amount. What do we mean by excessive? You kind of throwing this word around.
Right. I was like, yeah, it's excessive, but you are right. What's excessive?
It's excessive means the natural biological system established in the tank is able to handle a certain volume of a certain what we refer to as a bio load. The bio load is the volume of biological activity that can go on in the tank such that it maintains its balance, its harmony. When that bio load is increased fundamentally through excess feeding, but it also can happen if animals die and are left in there. That increases the bio load as well, because the materials that comprise that fish or animal are broken down and are no longer bonded to that animal, so they return to the water column and increase the bio load to such an extent that the natural biological activity is not able to handle it all, and so you get a growth of diatoms or of bacteria.
Um, Guppy
And if
Graskell, or what does one do when a 60-gallon
but
tank leaks and you need more to move all the fish and you only have 3 other smaller tanks to put them in? Well, you're kind of in an emergency situation. What I would do is split the fish up the best you can, and you may have to add some extra filtration on those tanks so that you can repair your 60-gallon. Or
use
set up
that,
a 5-gallon bucket extra if you need it. Whatever, just get them moved and get some stuff going, and so you can repair that tank.
yeah, buckets are good. Buckets are a big help. Buckets
Yeah.
are your friend. If you don't have a half a dozen buckets, you're not a serious fish keeper. Buckets
I
are
have,
fundamental.
I have buckets. I keep my my extra mothballs in a bucket with filtration because that's what I like to do. And then I have another bucket for plants and things. But yeah, in an emergency, 5-gallon buckets with some filters in there, and heaters, whatever you have to do, just get on it. That's all you can do because you got to get that tank repaired.
Yeah, big totes. Oh,
Yeah.
Lowe's
Similar
sells
to
a 40-gallon black tote for $10. That's a really ideal container.
Mhm.
Holds 40 gallons of water. It's rigid, cheap, non-toxic, and very, very effective.
Yeah.
Cookie bottom will feed in garlic till my
No,
fish kill the parasites. It can, yes. It
it'll
may
kill
not.
maybe the
Internal
internal, but
bacteria,
not gonna
if
do the
they're
external.
eating it, yeah, it won't necessarily. It can. It's all. I treat it as the first line of defense. It's the least intrusive. One of the least intrusive things you can do. One of the most homogeneous things you can do. Homeopathic, and the least likely to cause a problem. So do that first. If it doesn't work, then you need to go to something stronger.
Yeah. Um, what did I just see?
Tommy Denda.
Oh, Steffi was asking about food safe buckets. Yeah, I would use those. I use them when I can. I mean, I certainly
Yeah.
don't want to. That's exactly what I try to get. You don't want a bucket that's had something in it that could leach.
Well, no, I had for a long time, I got free chlorine buckets when I bought sand from the pool filter supplier. And I would have to rinse them pretty thoroughly in order to
Yeah.
get the residual chlorine out, or they would kill the fish. But I used them for years, went through thousands of them.
Yeah. Bookie Brown, I don't think you would want to boil the garlic. You want to use it fresh.
Now, you want to use it raw.
Yeah,
It,
fresh garlic. Don't boil it.
and generally speaking, you don't want to cook any food you put in the tank. You want it
Right.
raw.
Yeah. Um, okay, so there was a question above because you just mentioned sand. Somebody asked a question above. I'll try to find it. About sand. They were saying something about silica
You're looking,
sand.
you're looking for Tommy Denda.
No, you can address Tommy Denda, but there was a question about sand when we were talking about the algae, the diatom algae. Somebody came in with a sand question, so I'll look for that. If you want to answer Tommy, that's great, and then we'll go on to this other question if I can find it.
Tommy Denda says, "Hey, Father Fish, I'd like to understand a bit about the biology in the substrate. Where do the plants get their nutrients from the first months in the tank? The sand layer doesn't have nutrients. That's true. The plants, however, have roots, and the roots are very invasive little devices, extensions of the plant that are able to grow and move very quickly. They will reach down. The roots are on a quest. They're not just holding the plant down. They're also on a quest to find nutrition. And so the first thing a root does is it starts going straight down until it hits nutrients. Once it hits the nutrients, then it starts growing little tiny cilia on the plant. Those cilia are little tiny hairs, are what actually uh, um, assimilate or take in the nutrition. And they do it by creating an anaerobic layer around themselves that breaks down the waste and makes it accessible to them. So as they're able to get into an anaerobic layer, they're able to take up more nutrition. So the roots are the answer to the question. You do not want to plant the root all the way down in a new dirted tank, however, because the dirt will be too raw and it could burn the roots. Let the plant find the nutrition. Don't stick its face in it or its feet in it. It will find it. It's a delicate process, and the root does it delicately and very carefully. That root grows quickly. A root can grow in a 6-inch plant can grow an inch of root in a day or two. It grows very quickly. So in a matter of a few days, that root is down in there finding nutrition and growing the cilia needed to be able to feed. So it's part of the miracle of life. It's part of the process of understanding that all you're really doing is creating the opportunity for things to happen. You're not in any way forcing them to happen. You're simply allowing the various animals and plants that you put in your tank to do their thing, if you will, to grow and to thrive.
Yeah. All right, so the question I went back to find, I mean, I think we basically kind of went over, but it was Andre Ellison saying, what kind of sand do you have? I have found that silica sand, like pool filter and clay sand, can also lead to diatom explosions. So I guess they're suspecting that the sand is causing the diatoms and not, I don't know.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that would happen.
Yeah.
It may create an environment that is uh, beneficial or supportive of diatomaceous growth, but
Right.
there's very little that does not do that. Um, the sand in and of itself is not going to create diatomaceous growth. It takes
Right.
more than that. It
That's a yeah.
it,
I would
it
agree
takes
with that.
a nutrition level for that to occur. So
Um.
by controlling the nutrition level, you're controlling that growth. There's no doubt, but that uh, the silica sand creates an environment that's uniquely uh, susceptible to and appropriate for all kinds of bacterial and
Yeah.
diatomaceous growth. That's why we use it. It has rough edges, and those edges allow a substantial amount of bacteria or diatoms to grow on them.
I would agree with that. You're right. It's just a great place for it all to happen. Um, Fish Stream says, "Do red root floaters do well in most any lighting?"
No,
Doesn't
red
say.
root, red root floaters require direct sunlight.
Yeah.
I haven't found anything other than a metal halide that's going to keep red root floaters going in a fish tank.
Yeah.
If you're doing it, you're doing well, but they're really, really tough.
They need a
If
lot of
you
light.
really want to do red root floaters, set up a bucket or a tub outside, get them going there, and then you can bring them into your tank for a week or so, and then put them back out there. Kind of switch them out. It's one of those things that is more decorative, very decorative, but
Mm.
really not uh, a plant that's going to do well in an aquarium. If you find a solution to that, I'd be interested, and I'm sure a lot of other people
Yeah.
would too.
Because
I've tried for years, and the only way I've been able to get red root going is to do it outdoors.
yeah. Yeah. So, like you said, if you figure out the secret, everyone would love to know. Good morning, Jay Olivers. Good morning.
What what thus? Are you saying I should feed my fish every second day? My fish are always hungry. Well, welcome. What thus? You have come to the right place. You will find truisms that father fish you have not seen before. Only one of which is a hungry fish is a healthy fish. A hungry fish is a healthy fish. If you try to feed your fish enough that they won't be hungry anymore, you will kill them. They will die. A fish processes its food in 2 hours or less. A little fish. 2 hours or less. The food that goes in has come out the other end, which means 90% of it is undigested. It's not been used. It still has food value. Other fish, including that one, eat that waste. That's that's highly nutritious, highly valuable food because it is partially digested. And so it has more available nutritional value than the raw food you started with. That happens again and again and again and again. Each grain of food you put in the tank, provided there are a number of animals in there, will be eaten at least 5 times. So multiply whatever you're feeding by 5, and that'll give you an idea of what you're really putting in the tank. Now, every second day, try this experiment. Try if you have the caveat, if you have a tank set up that has a lot of plants in it, it's a balanced, healthy tank, it's doing well. If you have a deep straight in it or a substrate that is obviously growing microculture, do not feed those fish. If you have small fish, I'm not talking about 12-inch fish or even 4-inch. I'm talking about 1 to 2 inch fish. Do not feed them for 1 month. A month. No food at all of any kind. Observe them carefully. Watch what happens. You will not see them starve, shrink, get hollow belly, and die. You will see them thrive because they will be finding food that is being manufactured in that tank. Part of the balance of a balanced tank is it provides nutrition for every single one of its residents. That includes the fish. Try it, experiment with it, and you will learn something you don't now know, which means that fish, that tank is creating food for the fish.
Mhm. Bye, Patrick. And hello, Eric from Those Aquatics. Good morning.
Do I use real garlic? Yes, absolutely.
Um, Vonja Chan said they're having very good luck with red root floaters doing good in the fish tank, and they use highlight. Nice.
Highlight is key.
Yep.
Who is
Highlight.
it?
Vonja Chan said it.
Nice.
And
Red
Guppy
root
Grass.
is good.
Poor guy says, I never fed my
Yeah, very
9
highlight. Takes a lot of light.
Yeah.
Oh, Million and Sons asked a question a while back and just repeated it. And I wanted to get to it because it's really significant. Any good brackish tolerant plants? Yeah, but you're going to have to find them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just went through a process of filling 5 tubs with creek water and putting plants in them. All of those plants failed.
Yeah.
They
It's
were
a tough
cold, but I've had cold. I've had cold not cause plants to fail. I believe the water was too brackish. Now, it didn't test out that way, but as a result, one of my jobs today is to go around and empty all of those tanks of all of the brackish water and refill them with well water, city water. I like the city water. It's great water. It's real high quality water.
You've had good
I,
luck with it.
I had
So.
assumed that the brackish water was going to be high quality, and it has turned out not to be at all. Turned out
Yeah.
to be a problem.
Yeah. Bookie Brown, yes, absolutely take your carbon out if you're going to treat with general cure.
Yeah,
You need to, or any medication. Don't have carbon in your filtration if you're going to be treating.
Duco is suggesting low flow as well. Yeah, you want them to be able to stay floating on the top.
Yeah.
Guppy grass, they're growing. What are they eating? I assume this pertains to.
Well, they were talking about shrimp up above. They're saying that they're 9 mono shrimp in 2 tanks, and only 2 died, and they have tons of plants though. But it says I never feed my 9 mono shrimp, and then down below says they are growing,
What
growing
are
too
they
much.
eating? Yeah. The tank is providing food for them.
Right.
They're eating algae. They're eating otherwise microscopic kinds of things. Get a little microscope or a big hand lens and start
Yeah.
looking at what's really down in your substrate. You'll be amazed.
Yes, what thus you would have to feed your bottle shark. See, that's the thing. That doesn't work necessarily for larger fish, but you can do it with the smaller fish and not feed them. Millions
Yeah,
of
that's right. Yeah.
is wondering, fatherfish. it's a possibility that herbicides used for lawn maintenance companies and stuff is making its way into your stream, which is always a possibility, but you suspect that stream is just not getting any fresh water in general.
That could very well be. I do not know what the problem is. I've tried to figure it out. One of the things that I did not seriously consider is the sloshing effect. Without substantial rain, and we have not had substantial rain here for months, tidal water sloshes. The same water does this. And we're talking about 10 miles or so of sloshing. So that water moves up for about 6-7 hours, stops, and then moves back. Well, it's a long enough creek that same water is essentially doing this day after day, month after month. So it's building up whatever toxins and nutrition and whatever else are in it. So it's not in any way a clean, clear water. It's not even like saltwater intrusion. Now, when the rain comes, a heavy rain, that'll all wash out. So at that point in time, probably that water would be okay. But it's not okay now. And it's created problems I did not anticipate. And I am guessing it's because of that sloshing effect that's keeping the same water in the creek week after week, month after month, to the point where it becomes somewhat problematic.
Yeah. Yes, bye, James. See ya. Have a good day. Rohan's wondering about feeding his brine shrimp inside. Yeah, green water, spirulina powder. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And is Paragard Secam a good product? Not my favorite, but I'm sure some people like it. I think generally a better product. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to understand that with all of these products, the instructions on use are absolutely key. And the instructions on use may differ from product to product. So you need to follow the instructions very carefully for any product. They're there to optimize the effectiveness of that product.
And that is good advice. Follow the instructions. T Montana says they're getting, I think, a pistogramma, dwarf pistogramma.
Yeah, a pair of dwarf pistos.
What's a good setup for them?
I would set up the nicest small tank that you can. Do something that you're going to like that's really pretty. Lots of plants. They love plants. A deep substrate is perfect. And when you put them in, try not to use a small enough tank, like a 10-gallon tank. You don't need to put anything else in. They will spawn in there and raise their babies. And it really is a delight. Again, heavily planted, deep substrate. And the same issue applies. That tank is going to provide a lot of nutrition. Now, once you get babies, it will be inadequate. You'll need to feed the babies. So find some kind of a really good micro food that you can put in. Lots of different possibilities, including microworm culture and some of the what's it called? The little tiny shrimp.
Brine shrimp.
God. No. Oh,
Bye, Ross. See ya.
I can't remember. My brain
I
is
don't
so
know.
good.
I don't know what other kind of shrimp you're talking about. For feeding.
It's
Are you
not.
talking about for feeding
It's
or just
a
to be?
processed food made out
Oh,
of
um,
that's
the
sold by
golden pearls.
Frank Direct Golden Pearls. Thank you.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, golden pearls. Yeah.
yeah. You can get golden pearls down to
Yeah.
about 5 microns. You can get them really, really tiny.
Yeah. Good morning, Kenny. Thanks for
Bows
coming
and
in.
barrels. Joey Bows and Barrels wants to know if you let the Yorkies swim in your.
No, but they're not. I mean, they're bigger than some of those goldfish, but not by that much for some. But no, I would never let my Yorkie swim in there. Might be residual shampoo or something, you know.
Really. Can
Uh,
you use an air stone in a dirted tank?
oh,
Yeah.
Danny. Good morning, Danny. You're supposed to come in. Sorry, with a little lady emoji with brunette hair. Good morning.
Is it Danny or Kenny now?
It's Danny.
It's Danny. Oh,
But
hello,
you
Danny.
never tell. So I said, you're supposed to come in and say hi with a little brunette, you know, face.
Right.
Hi, Danny.
Really?
Well, it's great to
Hey,
see you here.
Danielle, nice to see you.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, interrupted you. Yep.
Bows and barrels.
Yeah.
Deborah wanted to know if you can use an air stone in a dirty tank. Yeah, my attitude is why not put a sponge filter in? It'll
Right.
accomplish more than simply a stone will.
Yeah.
The movement will not pull the tannins out of the sand cap, provided it's deep enough. And
Yeah.
that's why you want a 2-inch.
Yeah. I agree. If you're going to put it in there, like you said, why not just put the sponge filter on? Throw it behind a plant and it'll be great. It'll do wonders for your tank.
Good
Now,
temperature for the dwarf Apisto, 80 to 82.
yeah. And I didn't realize you were from Australia with us. Hello.
Danny herself, says Stephanie. Yes, indeed.
Yes, Danny. Rohan, do platies take longer to grow opposed to mollies?
Probably not.
I was gonna say all that depends on conditions, what you're feeding them. You know, I mean, it varies. Growth.
Yeah.
My platies might grow faster than your platies, or you know, it just depends on what's going on in your tank.
The fish farmers grow out all live bears to market size in 3 months. They've got them in large, typically dirted ponds where they're fed heavily, typically on natural product, not so much on food until they're big enough to require it.
Yeah. But you know, like I said, it just growth depends on there's so many things that. Hello, Kenny. Kenny Edwards, welcome. Sorry, FATHERFISH.
Hi, Kenny.
Hello, Kenny.
Absolutely.
Rohan, they all start off small. They're all small.
Little teeny tiny.
Yeah. That's the whole fun part. Starting off with these little babies and watching them grow.
Oh, Kenny is here under Ken Edwards. Hello, Ken Edwards. There he is.
Is that what's going on? Okay. Hello, Kenny. You think we should give that guy a wrench?
You know what? Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. We got them both in here. We got the dynamic duo in here this morning.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Awesome.
So worry about pH for the Apisto. Absolutely, Taya, or T. You want the pH to be 7.5 or so, which means you need. Now, it can vary. It depends on how they come in. They're typically going to come in 7 to 7.5. So you want to simply replicate that They will survive very nicely in soft acid water. They will also survive very nicely in hard alkaline water. It really depends entirely upon the water parameters that you have in your system. You want to adapt them to that. If they come in hard alkaline water and you had soft acid water, add some sodium bicarbonate and get it up. You want to match what they have. If they come in soft acid water, a pH of 6 to 6.5, you can put them in 7 to 7.5 without any trouble at all. But do not do the reverse of that. It will hurt them.
All right. Debbie suggests a foam wrench for Kenny because that would be safer. I'm coming in with, I think it's hammer time, people. One last time. Smash the like button. Got a few minutes left.
83 watching and 75 thumbs up.
All right.
Which
That's
nothing.
it. And then, good morning for Sundays. Good morning. And then we had a couple quick things. The blind fish keeper, Brandon just came in with good morning, everyone. I got my pond up and running. I had air run planted. Okay. Just waiting for the water to get right and add guppies and platies and white clouds. Awesome. Good for you, Brandon. Have fun with that.
Nice.
Summer pond. That'll be awesome. And then there was something. Oh, Sunday says, Father Fish, what was the first fish you kept? What was your first fish?
I think it was platies. I tried to remember. I don't believe it was mollies. I think it was platies. And then swords were in there early on. But I believe the first one was a sunset platy, not a Mickey Mouse. They came much later, but a golden platy.
Kyle's Aquariumetrics says 82 watching 82 legs. See, they're scared of my hammer. Kenny, don't steal my hammer idea. And Duco says, Joey, don't hit the screen. I'm just having fun with this hammer. Anyway, and this is awesome. All right.
Rohan says no violence, please.
I'm not being violent.
No, she's not violent.
I'm threatening from a distance.
Determined, not violent.
Strong suggestion.
I'm Maple Street.
Yeah.
Nice
Hello, Maple
to
Street. Good morning.
Great to have you with us.
Hello. Vinovsky. Good morning, Vinovsky. Welcome, everyone. Howard, hello. Good morning, Howard. Oh, okay. Ever kept Stiphodons or any other type of freshwater goby? Kyle's asking.
Oh, I haven't. I love them. Will a dirted Eco Complete cap work with DSM? No. You need an inert sand that has no nutrition.
No, sorry, I gotta come back to this. I know Kenny will like it. Kenny, my new thing is like, it's hammer time.
Really?
Smash the like button.
Hammer time.
There's not enough room here to do the dance. Anyway, good morning, Jess. Good morning.
Let's see. Dooby-doo.
1 a.m. fish chat for you over in Australia. Well, you know what? Thanks for the dedication. Thanks for coming in and hanging with us. We appreciate it. We realize we do have people from all over the world, and a lot of people do stay up late or get up early to support and be in this.
Absolutely right.
We
are so deeply appreciative. You bet. We love you all.
I absolutely say, without the shoal, there's no show. Without you all in here asking questions and chatting amongst yourselves and just, adding to the daily show, there is no show. We can't do it without you. Otherwise, Father Fish and I might as well just have a phone conversation, you know? So this is awesome. Appreciate it.
That's not to say Father Fish and Joey don't have extended phone conversations, because they
But
do.
but and when it, you know, but we're not sharing with anybody else. We're not helping anybody. You know, it's like this is awesome. This is awesome to be able to be up here. You know, people can.
It is indeed.
Penny Edwards, yes, yes, MC Hammer Dance. It's hammer time for all us old people.
Let's see if we can
Anyway.
play this. I received a video the other day. It's a music video that was done in part at Father Fish, and I wanted to. It's on the channel under Father Fish's music, but I wanted to show you some of this because it's really kind of cool. This is the opening, and we got a new mic, so maybe we can hear it.
All right.
I can't hear it. So there's that. You can watch this. Could you hear it at all?
Yeah, it just, I don't know why it was making me, I mean, it just made me smile and laugh. That's awesome. That somebody even wanted to come in and make a music video at your store. That's cool.
Isn't
Really
that
cool,
fun?
Father Fish. Yeah.
So that was really, it's fascinating video. Go watch it. It's just really interesting.
Kenny, yes, Kenny, you're right. It's not old. It's a classic. We're classics. That's right. We're not old. We're just
Right.
classics.
Ah,
Anyway, thank you, everybody. It was fun today. Thank you, Chevy Fish, for being here at Mod. And I know Lori came in towards the end. Thank you, everyone, for dropping links. And love it. And I mean, I think for me, I don't know about you guys, but the hammer time is sticking. That hammer is not going away.
let's see.
Thank God I had opened that window. I wouldn't have had that hammer.